Posting nasty comments online can cost you an awful lot of money, time and stress, as was made clear by Joey Barton's post yesterday when social media came alive with his apology tweet here, making an apology to Jeremy Vine and making clear that he's resolved at least part of the claim, which I'll come back to in a moment, for £75,000 in damages and his legal costs. He says here that he's agreed to pay Jeremy Vine £75,000 and his legal costs, and clarified that the allegations that he made against him were untrue. But that wasn't the end of the matter, and it really is. And just in case you're new to me, my name is Daniel Shensmith. I'm a barrister of England and Wales. I've been running this channel for about 4 years now, helping you to understand law, which I really enjoy doing and I want to keep doing. So if you would do me the little favour of hitting that subscribe button below, it really does help my channel grow. And if you hit the like button, that helps to spread my videos to a wider audience. I try to cover all sorts of different legal topics for you. I've just done a video actually exposing the truth behind the car finance scandal, which hasn't got many views, I'm sorry to say, because I put quite a bit of effort into making it. But if you've had car finance, you may well be due some compensation because of the way that it was sold to you, but very much more about that in the other video. So I'll link that in the description below. Go and check that out because, as I say, if you've had car finance, you might well be involved in that scandal. But in the meantime, please do hit the subscribe button. I'll be really grateful for that. And yeah, a little bit more about this story because it's really interesting and it's not quite finished. Back to the video. Subsequent to that, this was posted yesterday at 12:24 p.m. There was a further post by Jeremy Vine at 5:18 p.m. and a statement from his lawyers, which I'll come back to in a minute. And the statement from Jeremy Vine says, the statement regarding Joey Barton. The news of Joey Barton's apology and commitment to pay damages is not the final outcome of this case. After 5 defamatory tweets, my lawyer offered Barton a chance to settle, pay £75,000 plus costs and make an apology. He ignored the offer, Jeremy Vine says, and posted more disgusting tweets about me and even publishing my home address to his followers. When I took the case to the High Court, a judge ruled that 10 of the tweets complained of were defamatory. Having lost, Barton returned to the offer that we made after tweet 5. Just pausing for thought for a moment, that judgment I have to hand here. Now, there were 14 publications altogether, the 14th of which was not defamatory, but all of the others, the judge has summarised the conclusions here, and this judgment is available online. This was at what we call the meanings hearing of a defamation trial, where the ordinary meaning of the words complained of is decided upon, and the judge decides whether or not those are defamatory. That is very often leading to a point of settlement, because once the judge has ruled what they mean and whether they're defamatory, that somewhat sets in stone the rest of the case. As was predicted by our learned friend Alan Robertshaw, whose video I'll play a very short clip of just here, and I'll link the full one in the description for you to go and watch. Take a listen to this. This is his video referring to a video that I'm referring to. How very meta. Listen to this.
First of all, though, I need to do my Mystic Al bit. So, my prediction, doing another one of my predictions, is no, it won't. It's probably going to have to throw the towel in. So I suspect there's going to be lots of negotiation backwards and forwards now about, you know, levels of damages and costs. We might also get what we call a statement in open court. A statement in open court is something that...
So I'll leave you to go and watch that video. I'll link it below. You can watch that in full. It's very interesting, and much more commentary from our Alan Robertshaw there. So this statement from Jeremy Vine went on. There's therefore been a parallel action on tweets 6 to 7, and Barton will pay further damages for these. A number of other steps, including statements made in open court by way of apology, are still to be taken, and Barton has agreed to pay my legal costs of all of the claims. Jeremy Vine posts. And there was also a public statement by Samuel's solicitors, Jeremy Vine's lawyers, who said Joey Barton today published a public apology for Mr. Vine in the form of a pinned tweet or post, whatever, in which Mr. Barton apologises for defaming and harassing Mr. Vine and acknowledges his harassment to pay Mr. Vine £75,000 in his legal costs. This post by Mr. Barton is only the first step in the settlement of Mr. Vine's legal claims against Mr. Barton. As part of the process begun by the publication of the pinned tweet, Mr. Barton is also required to participate in a statement in open court, which our learned friend Alan Robertshaw talks about, in which he will make a comprehensive formal apology to Mr. Vine and give undertakings not to repeat his conduct. Now, I'll leave that there and I'll link it in the description below for you to go and read in full. But also just to say this, when you say certain things online, you have to be very careful about what you say and against whom you say it. Because you might have noticed that when I make videos and I make statements and I make critical statements about certain things, I will usually caveat what I'm saying, either by saying it is my opinion based on fact, and that somebody could reasonably come to the same conclusion. That means it's my opinion, which if something I were to say were defamatory, then there would be a statutory defense of it being my opinion that I based on facts. In the alternative, it could be something that is true, because it is also a statutory defense if what you say is true. So, and it doesn't have to be completely 100% true, it just has to be substantially true. So particularly when you're talking about criminal allegations, if they are substantially true, then that is a defense to any defamation claim. However, in this case between Joey Barton and Jeremy Vine, the things that he said were quite obviously not true, but they were of a criminal nature. And as Al's video will discuss, allegations of a criminal nature are usually going to be defamatory. So I'll leave you to hear more about that from Al in the video that I'll link in the description below. But again, this just to reiterate, when you talk about things online, they either need to be a firm opinion that could be based on fact and a reasonable person could form the same opinion, or it needs to be based in the truth and that you could show that it is substantially true if you were challenged for it being defamatory. And it is for you to show that it is substantially true. It's not for the other side to disprove it. You, the maker of the statement, would have to show that it is true. So in the event that, let's say, I were talking about somebody, I talk about a lot of road traffic cases and things like that. If I'm talking about someone having committed a road traffic offence, whether that's a driver or a cyclist going through red lights, if they've gone through a red light and it looks like an offence, then I can say that that is an offence, because it is either true because you can see that they've gone through a red light and they're not allowed to do so, or at the very least it's my opinion that they've broken the law because they've gone through a red light. And anybody looking at that video could come to the same conclusion because they can draw the opinion that they've broken the law if they understand the rules, they see the video, they see them breaking the law, or indeed if they've actually been prosecuted, and then you're talking about it as a fact after the event. So if someone has broken the law and you are talking about it, then that is a fact, and it can also be opinion. So any claims coming back at you after that, it is just reporting. That is why companies like BBC News, Sky News, etc., they talk about these offences that people are involved in. They publish their photographs and they publish all sorts of details about them. That is reporting factually on events that these people have either been prosecuted, they've been sued. They are all factual statements and they can all be made publicly because they are either factual, they are opinion, and they're allowed to say them. But obviously, as for the allegations made publicly against Jeremy Vine, they are not true, they are inherently defamatory, and that explains this case for you. So I'll link Al's video in the description below. Go ahead and watch that and enjoy that. I will link to the statement from Samuel Solicitor so you can read that in full as well. But hopefully that goes some way to explaining what has happened for you and why it is not the end of the matter. It rarely is. But thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.